After getting the taste of the superhero life, Mike pleads with Pat to let him join the team. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve from Valhartv, and today I'll be reviewing Stargirl Episode 3. So we start out this episode 11 years in the past with a flashback to the night of the original JSA getting deleted. And we meet Johnny Thunder. Johnny Thunder is a part of the JSA, and he has a unique ability for his superpowers. And we see that he goes down into the garage with Pat, and they talk about being sidelined. And this really sets up the tone for the rest of the episode. They really kind of talk about how it kind of sucks that they're not, they're being sidelined and they don't really have great special powers like the other, JSA team. The other members of the JSA team, I should say. And how they go on like that. So it really sets the tone for what's going to happen throughout the rest of the episode. So when we go back to, present day, this episode focuses more on Mike and the Shade than the other characters. And, that's not really a bad thing, especially when they need to really start developing the other characters more instead of just having them be like the rough and tumble and group they were in season 1, where you have Our Man is just out for revenge. He's just a really angry guy all the time. They really need to start developing these characters more than just that. They really need to get working on these guys. It's season 2, and we should have some pretty decent backstories and pretty decent character growth. Even though it's the 3rd episode, but we should still start seeing a little more character growth from everybody, including the new villains. And we finally learn what the JSA's mysterious pink pen is when Mike accidentally grabs it out of the jar that Courtney has in her room. And it really begins his journey into the JSA. And yeah, so this is Mike's big chance, really, to join the JSA. And he tries to get the hang of these new abilities and he learns that there's a lot of rules that come with him asking for certain things from this pen, basically. And we see that Pat gets really upset that the pen chose him, because he knows how it works, and he tries to get it back, but he can't. And we see Mike is really struggling with this, and we learn that Mike feels very alone. His emotional state is very lonely, and he just wants to be a part of something bigger than just doing a paper route. And this leads into, how he feels, about being sidelined, and it's not fun. And that he wants to help everyone out, in the JSA, and help them save people, And there's a scene with Courtney that him and her are talking about that very thing. And so she decides to help him because she knows how he feels about it. That was her in season 1, basically. And she even says it. And Pat's still really not on board, but he agrees to it as long as Mike just stays out of it and just helps them locate the Shade. And while all this is going on, the Shade is looking for something, and when he discovers it's not there, it's gone, he gets ready for a meeting with the new JSA because he knows that they're going to come and try to stop him, And that leads to really good scenes where he's like, look, I don't want to fight. I'm not here to fight. I'm not here for Blue Valley. He's like, I want something, and don't get in my way. And when they do basically get in the way because Mike busts in, he gets mad and he says, and he restates it again. He's like, I'm not here for you. Stay out of my way. And he leaves. And that whole scene was really cool, especially with the shadows and everything that they did for the graphics for this. Thought it was really interesting and really neat. So the ending of this episode has Mike realize, like he comes to a realization that he may not be ready to join the JSA because he messed up. He was reckless. He didn't listen when he should have. And even Courtney, tries to defend him and say, hey, I was the same way. And then Mike says something, and they're all like, what? What did you just do? And, it was really kind of funny and cool because this brings in another character from the comics named Jakeem. So we're really going to see the new JSA start to form here, I think, over this whole season. And the effects in this, again, were good. I actually liked them. I like what they did with Thunderbolt. As you can see here, he looks kind of neat, but it's not as good as some of the other episodes, even in season 1. But it still was a neat concept they did, and I don't really think they have a huge budget for it. So, that's kind of what happens when when you're trying to do these really awesome graphics, but you don't have the budget for them. You can't really afford it. But the Shade, again, and his powers, thought were really cool looking because we actually start to get to see them a little bit. And I had no issues with the acting. The acting was fine for the most part. Mike, I think, actually was a little better in this episode than in others. He was a little more serious. He wasn't just trying to be the, hey, Dad, I'm going out. See you later type thing, like he's 40 years old. He didn't actually act like he was 40 in this episode. So I kind of was surprised about that. Pleasantly surprised. So we got a good episode from him finally where he's just not like, I'm going to go out and get some girls. See you later, Pops. Because he's not, because I don't understand how the kid can act like he's 40 when he's supposed to be 12 or 13 or whatever his age is. So I actually liked him a little more in this episode. So I'm very interested in seeing what the Shade has planned when he finds what he's looking for. So this is a really neat concept. There's an end part of the episode where he has a box and he says something. And we also get a warning from Dr. Midnight again. So there's something going on with that as well. That we learn that things may not appear as they, have in everybody's, recollections. They were talking about Dr. Midnight in this episode as well. Will we end up getting to see Mike actually work with the JSA more, get a bigger part in this, other than just being a cameo every now and then in the episodes? So these are things I'd like to see in things like that. I mean, I'm not really interested in, Courtney being in summer school. That I really don't get that part of it, but, we are seeing that they are talking even there, and they shouldn't be. So I can't wait to see kind of, how this plays out throughout the whole season. I would give this episode a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't a bad episode. We're starting to get to see more character growth and development and progress. The pace is still a little slow, though, for being opening episodes, and we've already got some backstories established. So hopefully they pick up the pace a little more. But we'll see. If you guys like what I do, please hit the like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought about this episode. And please subscribe. Take care for now, everybody.